Hey, Allison Verhalen here with AV Writing Services, and today I am giving you 9 blog post topic ideas you can use right now. I hear this all the time from small business owners and solopreneurs. They have a million excuses not to be blogging because they don't want to do it. And one of the big reasons I hear is they don't know what to blog about. They have no idea where to even start as to where to blog. So I'm going to take care of that for you right now. Here are 9 blog post ideas that you can use right now. So first of all, FAQs. That's the reason that I wrote my blog post for this week around blog post topic ideas, is because I hear this all the time. People don't know what to blog about. So what do you hear all the time at networking events and talking to potential clients and customers and other colleagues, business owners, customers, whatever your industry is, whoever it is you work with? What questions are you hearing all the time that you know you can answer quickly and easily? I was talking to someone the other day who wrote a whole book. She said she wrote it because she was sick of answering the same questions all the time. So she just put it together in a book, says, here's my book, it's $10, great, thanks. And then if you want more than that, then come talk to me. But people, you always hear the same questions. No matter what your industry, I'm sure there's a question, at least a few questions that you hear over and over and over again. So turn them into a blog post, because if they're asking about those questions in person at networking events, you know they're asking them online. They're asking them in Google search bar, in Bing search bar, on social media. They're looking for the answers to those questions. So direct them to your website by having that content ready and making it SEO friendly and getting in there. So that leads us to our second tip, which is to teach something. Again, when people search in Google, more often than not, they're searching how to do something. They want to know how to do something for themselves. They're not necessarily looking for a product to buy. Sometimes they are, and that's great. And hopefully your sales page is optimized so that that will show up in their searches. But when they're looking how to do something, that's when your blog posts should show up. Now, the downside to doing that is that you are targeting people who are in the early stages of the buying process. They're not ready to buy yet. They're trying to figure out how to do something for themselves before they buy. The bonus to that is if you get in front of them early and you manage to hook their attention and get in front of them and get them to the next stage in the buyer journey, which is not to buy something, but to maybe subscribe to your newsletter or follow you on social media, so you can keep pushing that content in front of them, so that when they are ready to buy, they'll be like, oh, I already know this brand that sells this great product or provides this service, because I hear from them all the time. They have super valuable content. They really know what they're talking about, and I know they know what they're talking about because I see all this content from them. So don't be afraid to answer questions and teach your audience something. And then number 3 is kind of a fun one. Celebrate a holiday. We just celebrated Valentine's Day the other day, and you might be surprised how many people linked their business to Valentine's Day. It's not just Hallmark and the candy companies. It is marketers and business owners and pet owners, and literally everyone is finding ways to connect their business to Valentine's Day. So do something like that and think outside the box. And it doesn't have to be a big holiday like Valentine's Day or Independence Day. It could be National Potato Chip Day or National Coffee Day or Star Wars Day on May the 4th. If you know that your ideal customers are big Star Wars fans, in addition to loving whatever it is that you provide, then make a big deal out of it on May the 4th. Find a way to tie Baby Yoda, who's huge right now. If you can find a way to tie him into your content, it's gonna get in front of people, especially people who are in that area looking for Star Wars stuff. And if they're also looking for you, then great. And it's gonna make your content more memorable because it'll stand out. It's not your typical, here's why you should do X, Y, Z. It's something that's more fun and it speaks to their interests. So our 4th tip is audiovisual. So audiovisual is great because people are watching videos, they're listening to content, they're watching their content more than they're reading it. So I absolutely recommend that you make videos and or podcasts. The problem with that is Google cannot read audio or visual files yet. I'm sure they're working on it, and I'm sure they're going to get there, but they're not there yet. So in order to show up in searches, you still need a blog post. And this goes back to a lot of people not knowing what to write about. If you own your own business, you can talk about your business all day. There's a reason that you started your business. It's because you're passionate about it and you know all this stuff and you want to help these people. So use your blog as a way to do that. And if you find that you sit in front of a blank page and you're staring at that blank page and you can't think of anything to say, but you can talk about it all day long, then talk about it. Talk about it on a podcast. Talk about it in a video like this, and then transcribe it and turn that transcription into a blog post. And that will help you show up in searches. And it will also help the people who do want to read it, either because maybe they have a hearing disability or because they just prefer to read it rather than watch a video or listen to a podcast. Those are also great if you have guests either on your videos and or in your podcasts, and you interview an expert, and then you can turn that into a blog post, and then you're featuring this expert on your blog. It's a great way to get in front of that expert's audience, because they're going to promote it to their audience, and they're going to find you, and then you can promote it to their audience and your own audience, and those people are going to find that person, and it's going to make you look better having an expert on your podcast and on your blog. So where are we at now? Updates to your industry. Things are changing faster than ever. I know we blog about changes in SEO on a regular basis because it is constantly changing. There are constant updates to that. So regardless of your industry, I'm sure there are things that are changing because the digital age is throwing everything into chaos. So what are the changes? What are the updates that people need to know about that are happening in your industry? This goes back to, I'm sure you can talk about your business all day, every day, because you're in it all day, every day. So talk about those updates. Excuse me, I'm suffering from a little bit of a cold, I think. So we did updates. What is next? Previous blog posts. What have you blogged about previously? If you're stuck, maybe you've been blogging for a while, a year or two, and it's been going really well, and you just hit a wall, you're not inspired, you don't know what to blog about anymore. It happens to the best of us. It happens all the time. That's okay. Go back and revisit old blog posts and see if there's something that you can update, make a little more fresh, and then republish it. Because as soon as it has that new publication date, that's all that Google's going to see. Google is not going to care that it was originally published a few years ago and is now being republished. Google just cares that there's new content on your website. And if you have fans who read your blog regularly, they probably won't notice, especially if you do a really good job of updating it and making it relevant. And if they do notice, they're probably not going to care because, again, you should do a really good job of updating it and making it relevant to what's happening right now. And you can say at the top that it's an update. It was previously published on this date, but we felt it warranted a new discussion. So here's the update, the updated version. And people are going to appreciate that. And that is the best way to get the most out of your blog posts, especially your high-performing blog posts. So when you do that, make sure that you identify the blog posts that are already getting the most traffic and hopefully the most conversion rate, because as those blog posts get older, they're going to go down in the rankings. So republish them and get them back up in the rankings, because that's really going to help your website's overall SEO as well as the SEO of that particular blog post. So if you're new to blogging and you don't have any old blog posts, or maybe you only have a month or two worth and you don't want to republish them after such a short time period, check out the industry. Check out the competition. What is your competition blogging about? What blog post topics are they using? Never ever copy someone else's blog posts. I never recommend that. A, it's rude. B, it's not going to help your SEO. It could actually hurt your SEO because Google knows when there's duplicate content, and Google doesn't like that. So that could actually hurt your SEO. You want, in order for your rankings to get up there, it has to be original content. So don't copy, but do use it as inspiration. If you have something to add, if you're thinking, oh, they wrote about this and I should write about that too, or maybe they wrote about something and you think of something that's related to that you could write about, go ahead and write a blog post about that. Sometimes just seeing what other people are writing about and putting out into the world can really help us figure out what we should be writing about as well. Next up, do a best of list. These are great. It could be best tips for doing such and such, the best reasons you should do such and such, or the best tools for an industry. I see this all the time in the content marketing industry. People saying these are the best tools for content marketing, these are the best tools for SEO, these are the best tools for editing your own work, things like Grammarly get mentioned a lot. So point people to those super valuable, whether it's a tool or an expert, top people in such and such industry. Those get a lot of traffic as well because people love seeing those. They love being directed to the most valuable content and or tools. So go ahead and give it to them. And if you curate the list, maybe it is other tools or other experts in your industry or related industry. You don't want to point your audience towards the competition, but maybe if they're in a related industry, you can make a best of lists of people in a certain industry, and then you can cross promote. You can link to their website and let them know that you link to their website so that they can promote it in front of their audience. And that's a great way to get in front of their audience organically, and then you're promoting them in front of your audience. So it's a great win-win situation for both of you. So best of lists are great. It's also a great way to demonstrate your authority because it shows that you know where the truly valuable stuff is. You know what the best tools are. You know where the true experts are as opposed to the frauds, because there are frauds in every industry, always have been, always will be. So by pointing people in the direction of the truly valuable content and tools and people to know and talk to, that will make you look better. And you're playing nice with other people on the internet, which is always a good thing. So there's no reason not to do that. Now, all that being said, those are the 8 tips. My final one, if you still can't think of anything to write about, use a blog post topic idea generator. There are tons of them out there on the internet. HubSpot has one. I believe... I'm gonna forget now. I want to say CoSchedule has one, but I'm not positive about that, so don't quote me on that. But look up blog post topic idea generator. HubSpot is a big one. Ahrefs.com is another one. I don't know how they pronounce that name, so I'm not going to try. Because I'll probably butcher it, but it's Ahrefs.com. They have a bunch of SEO tools, and one of them is the blog post topic idea generator. So worst case scenario, you can always use one of those. Oh, and answer the public. Sorry, it's answerthepublic.com, not ask the public. It is answerthepublic.com. Is really great for looking up keywords and search terms. Just put in a term. I put in blogging all the time because that's what I help people with. And I see tons of questions that people are putting into search engines online to get information about blogging. And it's frequently questions I never would have thought to look into or research, but people need answers to those. So again, that goes back to our very first tip, is to answer those FAQs. So first you have to find out what the FAQs are, and Answer the Public is a great way to do that. So those are all my tips for this week on your blog post topic ideas, and so go ahead and get writing. And if you have any other questions, I am here at avwritingservices.com. You can reach me at info@avwritingservices.com. Thanks for watching and have a great week.